Assalamualaikum and very good day to everyone. So today I will continue our class which is on final topic for this semester under estimating part. So today's topic will be build-up rates which is the second calculation or calculation part 2 which will cover on excavation works. So far kita dah cover several topics starting from week 11 until now, which is week 15, week 15. So basically today I will continue with this final topic. So without further delay, let me show you the quick check for our previous lecture content or the topics. Okay, so far kita dah cover on estimating, starting from the introduction and then continue with the taking off, both taking off for part 1 and part 2, which consists of 3 types of taking off, and then I have proceed or have shared regarding the build-up rates for the first part calculation, which is on concrete works, which is last week, week 14, and hari ni ataupun minggu ni merupakan minggu terakhir untuk kita punya lecture week. Okay, so today saya akan cover on build-up rates which is the second part of this calculation, which focusing on the excavation works. And at the end saya juga akan cover on the summary for the whole estimating part for our class, and then saya juga akan share berkenaan dengan final assessment or final examination. Okay, that's all regarding the topics. And then for the assessment, so far we have done both assessment. Okay, saya dah bagi both assessment. For the assessment 1, semua dah settle dekat sini for the individual assessment, and then for the group project masih lagi tengah buat lah kan sekarang. So yang ni due date-nya 4 February. Okay, so that's all regarding our topics and assessment for this estimating part for this semester. Okay, so without further delay, let me proceed to today's topic. So this one saya akan skip lah sebab sebelum ni saya dah tunjuk beberapa kali untuk kita punya CLO. So this is our topics outlines. As usual, there are several subtopics to be covered. Okay, untuk hari ni saya akan start on introduction of excavation works and then proceed with the rest which consists of 4 stages of excavation works, and later on saya akan explain juga berkenaan each stages, stage 1 until stage 4. And then before I end today's class, I will summarize on the estimating, I mean for the total or overall topics covered, both taking off and also build-up rates. And then at the end, I will share the final assessment tips or final examination. Alright. For the first subtopics, which is the introduction of excavation works, actually there are several stages or activities of excavation. There are mainly 4 types of activities, such as site clearance, followed by excavation works, and then we have bulking or disposal, and the last one will be backfilling or filling. Each of these activities or stages of excavation works have its own sub-activities. For example, site clearance Kat sini dia ada 3 main activities ataupun sub-activities such as hedges, bushes or shrubs and also cutting down trees. So tapi untuk hari ni saya akan fokus on this cutting down trees because hedges and bushes ni sebenarnya dia quite straightforward. Untuk hedges kita just consider in terms of dia punya meter ataupun length. So untuk bushes kita just cari dia punya area je. So these two quite simple. So later on I will cover in details regarding this cutting down trees. Okay. Then for excavation works which is in meter cube, there are 3 main sub-activities. The first one is supporting and strutting, followed by excavation by hand and also excavation by machinery or plant. Okay, selepas ni saya akan tunjuk satu-satu calculation for each sub-activities of excavation works. And then after excavation work, we have bulking or disposal, which is also in meter cube. The unit is meter cube. So basically there are 2 types of disposal, which is by hand and by lorry. Both of these sub-activities also will be covered later on for the calculation. So saya akan tunjuk dia punya calculation untuk kedua-dua disposal ni. And then the last one for backfilling or filling, which is also in meter cube, also consists of 2 main activities or 2 main types, which is filling with excavated material and also filling with imported materials. So untuk kedua-dua ni pun saya akan tunjuk dia punya calculation. Okay, that's the introduction for activities or stages under excavation works. Okay, so far saya harap semua boleh nampaklah dia punya general idea for this excavation works for the purpose of build-up rates. Okay, so saya akan proceed with the calculation or explanation on stage 1, which is site clearance. Okay, as I mentioned before, for site clearance, I will focus more on cutting down trees because for the hedges and bushes, it's quite straightforward. Okay, ni adalah contoh soalan untuk cutting down trees for the site clearance. Okay, kita tengok kat sini the given information and first thing first kita kena fahamlah apa information yang diberi dan semua maklumat dan serta dia punya assumption so that later on senang kita nak answer the question as required. Okay, so the activities is cutting down trees which is exceeding 600 mm and not exceeding 900 mm girth at 1 meter above ground level. And the rest just a general information, and we need to focus on the assumption. So as usual or sama juga dengan last week punya build up rates which is for concrete works, dia ada dia punya own assumption. So sama juga dekat build up rates untuk this topic which is on excavation works. So kat sini dia akan bagilah related information regarding this excavation works, including in terms of labor, machineries or plant, and the details of the required activities, number of trees, and also kita kena ingat, kita kena include juga profit and overhead allowance or the percentage, which is usually 20%. Okay, then saya akan proceed dengan dia punya calculation. Okay, untuk calculation cutting down trees ni, basically dia ada 2 main calculation lah. Okay, the first one will be cutting down trees and the second one is removing the trees, because once we cut the trees. So for sure we need to remove the trees, right? Okay. So that's why we have two different sub-activities under cutting down the trees. So first of all, kita kena kira apa dia punya build-up rates untuk cutting down the trees. So kita kena include ataupun refer balik apa maklumat yang diberi and then masukkan kat sini. So macam kat sini untuk cutting down trees, we need sowing machine and refer balik berapa dia punya rental rate per day and masukkan je sini straightforward. And based on the assumption or given information, maklumat dia punya minyak untuk ni ataupun petrol untuk dia punya apa mesin tu, so kita kena include lah, kira sekali dia punya harga. So ambil percentage 50% darab dengan sowing machine punya rental. And then untuk cutting down trees kena include juga berapa general workers based on the given information. And then kita just multiply with the rates per day. And then kita dapatlah kat sini. So untuk cost cutting down trees kita dah dapat dia punya total. Okay, then kita pun proceed dengan removing trees. Removing trees biasanya kita akan menggunakan lori lah kan. So that's why dekat information ni dia dah bagi rental untuk lori juga. So kita masukkan kat sini sama juga dengan step calculation untuk cutting down trees. And then masukkan berapa general workers, untuk lori general workers, and then total up, total up daripada sini lah, 172.50 sen ni tambah 300 and 120, then we come out with this amount. And then so basically yang ni adalah untuk overall amount. So dia dah bagi berapa bilangan pokok, dia punya rate, tak silap, number of trees per day. So 5, so we need to divide. Kita dapatlah sini cost per number of trees. So sebelum dapat total cost, we need to include the 20% profit and overhead. Okay. So macam biasa je, kita dah kira, so total up dia punya amount semua. At the end kita dapat ni final amount for cutting down trees per numbers of the tree. Okay, so basically untuk calculation cutting down trees ni sangat simple je, sebab dia pun information given pun straightforward. Then kita just masukkan semua information, then categorize into cutting down trees and also removing trees. So far I hope all of you can understand lah yang ni. So semua boleh faham And then we proceed with the second stage, I think. Okay. For the second stage, which is excavation works. So basically untuk excavation works ni, sebenarnya dia quite, kalau compare dengan the other stages, dia macam panjang lah ini. Dia quite nak kata complicated, lebih kurang lah complicated dan juga panjang sikit yang ni, sebab dia pun ada 3 main sub-activities, starting from strutting or supporting, and then excavation by hand and also excavation by machinery. So kat sini dia quite panjang sikit. Nanti saya go through one by one. Okay, so we will continue with the stage 2 excavation works. Okay, this is the example of supporting and strutting. Actually dia ada different types of supporting and strutting for different types of soils. So kalau biasanya kalau tanah tu dah keras ataupun maksudnya dia stable, so we just need a minimum amount of strutting or supporting. Tapi berbeza pula kalau tanah tu jenis yang loose ataupun loose and wet ni, so for sure kita akan perlukan lebih lah strutting kat sini kan. So baru lagi support tanah tu semasa excavation. Okay. This is actually the first ataupun yes, the first sub-activities under excavation works. Then I will proceed with the calculation. Okay. So based on this figure, ni adalah contoh excavation works for supporting and strutting. Selain figure ni, given juga dia punya apa? Related assumptions for the materials. Okay, kat sini dia dah bagi tahu berapa dia punya panjang untuk korek macam parit tu kan. And then dia ada juga maklumat berkenaan timber, sebab kat sini kan dia guna timber untuk buat support ataupun strutting tu sendiri. And then the rest memang maklumat berkenaan material sendirilah, kayu ni sendiri dan juga paku. The required nail or nail usage for this kind of works. Sama juga kena masukkan profit and overhead. And then untuk calculation supporting and strutting, we also need to include the wastage of timber, which is usually 10%. Okay. So later on kita akan masukkanlah yang ni. Dia punya macam selalu kita akan ambil kira dalam calculation. Okay, for the calculation, this one assumption for materials. There are also assumptions for labor. So basically just now we have the information regarding the materials, and also we have the information regarding the labor. Okay, both of the information and the assumptions will be included in the calculation. So semua ni kita kena fahamlah semua maklumat yang diberi. Okay. Untuk calculation, first step kita akan kira material cost, which is supporting and strutting for 20 meter length of trench. Okay. Untuk material cost, kita kena kira dia punya supporting board. Kalau kita perasan dekat sini, dia ada dua elemen lah. Satu supporting board, lepas tu yang kat tengah ni dia panggil strutting lah. So we need to calculate both support board or supporting board and also strutting. That's why the name is supporting and strutting. Okay. For the first item, which is supporting board, kita kena ambil kira dia punya number of timber. So kita kena kira dia punya surface area. So basically number of timber. Okay, sorry. First kita kena kira dia punya number of timber dulu lah. Kena dapat dia punya quantity. Maksudnya berapa bilangan supporting board. So untuk dapatkan dia punya number of timber ataupun number of board tu, kita kena ambil refer balik dia punya information. Trench tu sepanjang 20 meter, and then dia punya kedalaman. Betul. Kedalaman dia 1.5 meter, and ni formula dah, kita kena tambah 1. So kita dapat 15 kat sini. Tapi kita kena darab 2 sebabnya ada both side, kiri dan kanan lah, untuk dua-dua support. And then kita come out with the number of board, which is 30 unit or 30 numbers. Lepas tu kita kena kira dia punya volume of timber. So all of this information kita refer balik given figure. And then bila dah dapat volume of timber, kita just darab dengan number of timber yang kita dah kira tadi. And then kita akan obtain the total volume of required timber or the board. Okay. So once dah dapat number of timber and also volume of timber, we will proceed with the cost of timber. Cost of timber ni pun kita dah dapat dia punya meter cube, and then kita refer balik dia punya given information. Timber is RM 900 per ton, which is equivalent to 1.4 meter cube. Okay, so that's why kat sini kita akan divide lah dengan 1.4. So kita dapat dia punya amount, and untuk material macam yang saya dah bagi tahu tadi, kita kena include timber wastage. So macam selalu kita akan kiralah dia punya timber wastage. Let me check, timber wastage is 10%. Okay. So that's why kita darab kat sini 0.1 which represent 10%. And then kita dapat dia punya wastage, just total up. So at the end kita dapatlah dia punya material cost untuk supporting board je dulu. And then we proceed with supporting. Supporting board. Oh, supposed to be ni strutting. Sorry. This one strutting. Strutting. Okay, strut. Okay, sama juga dia punya flow untuk calculation strutting ni pun kita dapatkan dia punya number of timber sama macam tadi 30, and then volume of timber pun sama. Lepas tu cost of timber sampai kejap cost of timber pun sama lagi kot. Okay, cost of timber tak yang ni lain sebabnya yang ni diikut dia punya strutting punya dimension lah. Tapi flow dia sama, and then dah dapat cost include dia punya timber wastage, so kita dapatlah kat sini. So untuk timber cost kita kena tambah both lah, yang tadi apa dah supporting board yang ni daripada previous slide tambah dengan yang sekarang ni kita dapat untuk strutting, and then kita dapat dia punya total. Ni total adalah untuk for the whole works lah. Tapi dia dah bagi, kalau kita tengok balik kan, dia dah bagi timber usage 15 times. So kita nak tahu per time tu berapa. So that's why kat sini kita bagi 15. So cost per times or cost per usage of the timber kita dapatlah kat sini. So ni je untuk material cost for the supporting board and also strutting. And then okay, lagi satu kita ada juga material cost untuk nail. Jangan lupa sebab kita ada juga paku. Okay, untuk paku ni pun sama. Kita ambil dia punya trench punya panjang, darab dengan dia punya kedalaman. And then darab 2 ni sebab macam tadi juga 2 sides. And then kita dapat dia punya meter square. Surface dia berapa. Lepas tu this surface area punya ni kita kena darab dengan cost of nail, dan dia dah given dalam soalan tadi. Just darab and then kita dapat dia punya amount. And dah dapat cost of nail and timber, kita total up lah kat sini. This is the final amount for materials. Macam tadi kan 21.6 ni 21.68 dah tambah je dengan 27, and then we come out with this amount. So far ni adalah cost untuk material which includes supporting board, strutting and also nail, paku. And then kita akan proceed lagi dengan labor cost yang kedua. Masih lagi under supporting and strutting punya calculation, which is the main item dia under excavation works lah. Okay, untuk labor cost pula sama juga, kita kena ada dua kategori, which is the first one cutting and fixing of the supporting board or also the strutting, and then dah siap kerja tu kita kena remove lah. That's why we have the removing calculation. Okay, untuk cutting and fixing ni kita kena kira both lah untuk carpenter dan juga general worker. Ni pun based on the given information and also output rate. Okay, refer balik. This one. Berapa dia punya amount ataupun wages, dia punya upah per day, dia dah bagi untuk both carpenter and also general worker. And then dia dah bagi juga dia punya output for each sub activities, cutting and fixing and also removing the timber. So later on kita masukkan yang ni lah. Nilai ni. Okay. So sama juga kita just buat simple calculation. Ambil dia punya output darab dengan dia punya wages per day. And then kita dapat dia punya amount. Total up for both workers which are carpenter and general workers. So kita come out with this amount for cutting and fixing of this support and strutting. And then for removing pun sama. Cuma removing kita just perlukan general worker. So kat sini dah tak ada carpenter lah sebab untuk buka senang je lah, kita just perlukan general worker. So sama juga calculationnya. So at the end kita kena total up for the labor cost which is per meter cube. Once we have obtained this dia punya labor cost per meter cube, and then kita kena kira dia punya timber volume juga, removing ni berapa yang dia kena remove. So refer balik yang awal-awal tadi, kita dah kira dia punya adalah volume for supporting board and this one for strutting. Okay, kita total up berapa dia punya total volume and then kena darab lah dengan dia punya cost per meter cube. Okay, so dapat yang ni. Then kita dapatlah dia punya total cost untuk labor cost dulu, which consists of cutting and fixing and also removing. So kita come out with this amount, RM57.49. And then macam selalu juga, once kita dah dapat material cost, labor cost, and at the end kita akan kena kira dia punya total cost lah for 20 meter trench supporting and strutting. Okay, ni daripada kira carry forward lah. Ni daripada yang sebelum ni punya amount and then total up. Lepas tu kita kena kira sekarang ni sebab kita kena tahu dia punya cost per meter cube. So basically in kat sini kan, in pricing ataupun in build up rate purposes ni, kita kena selalunya excavation dalam meter cube kan. So kita kena dapat dia punya berapa volume meter cube tu, and then cost yang tadi kita kena bahagi dengan berapa meter cube. So basically kita dapat lah including the 20% profit ni. So kita dapat yang ni, total cost per meter cube, meaning that cost yang ni adalah excavation works tapi for supporting and strutting. So at the end kita dapat this amount or this value. Okay, saya rasa tu je untuk calculation supporting and strutting. And then saya akan proceed with the second sub activities under excavation works. Okay, macam yang saya dah bagi tahu tadi, excavation works dia ada dua main types lah. First, excavation by hand, and the other one excavation by machinery or plant. Okay, sama juga sebenarnya yang dengan previous lecture which is on concrete works. Dia ada by hand and also by machineries. So yang penting kita kena differentiate each type and kita kena tahulah nak guna output mana yang sesuai, maksudnya which output for which kind of excavation works. Okay, so kat sini sebelum saya proceed with the calculation, saya akan tunjuk dulu related table ataupun information lah yang kita perlukan untuk calculation kita later on. So for the first table 1, kita ada labor output for excavation by hand. So dekat sini dia dah ada detail description for each activities lah. Kalau surface excavation, berapa dia punya output per hour, and the rest sama jugalah sampai ke trench excavation. Okay, for the second table which is table 2 adalah constant ataupun multiplier based on soil type. Maksudnya multiplier ni akan digunakan jika dekat soalan nanti dia dah state different types of these non-common soil. So kalau contoh sand, the multiplier will be 0.75. So in our calculation later on, if the required question ask for sand type of soil, then kita guna 0.75 ni lah dia punya multiplier. Okay. Okay, ni adalah example untuk excavation by hand. Okay, so basically soalan dia simple je lah. Macam sebelum ni punya apa, banyak dah example sebelum ni kan untuk kita punya build up rates. Okay, kat sini dia cakap apa, dia punya maklumat adalah kita perlu build up rates for 1 meter cube trench excavation. Ni yang macam saya cakap tadi kan. Activity apa, maksudnya description of activity. So apa dia nak trench excavation, and it's mentioned that this is the type of sand, the type of soil which is sand, pasir. And apa lagi dia punya maklumat adalah starting from reduced level with maximum depth not exceeding 2 meter. Okay, so kita dah faham dia punya main information ataupun important information for us to do the calculation. And then this is just several simple assumption regarding the general worker, support and strutting. Kat sini base apa, dia punya example je lah berapa dia punya percentage percentage of support and strutting from the general worker ataupun labor cost. Ni sebenarnya varies lah, yang part ni dia depends kepada soalan lah. Kalau soalan tu require kita different percentage, so kita ikut soalan lah. Untuk for this question, for this example, dia punya percentage is only 15%. And sama juga at the end kita kena consider the profit and overhead. Alright, for the excavation by hand, sama juga kita kena kira dia punya material cost, plant cost and also labor cost. Okay, material cost sebenarnya kalau ikutkan excavation by hand ni dia tak perlukan dah lah, sebab kita nak excavate tanah, so we don't need any cost for material lah. So ni tak perlulah. So saya tulis kat sini sebenarnya untuk lagi kita faham lah. Sama juga dengan machinery ataupun plant, sebabnya no machinery is required because it is excavation by hand. Okay, so it is manually excavated, so there will be no machinery required. So first tu ni tak adalah, kita dah skip. And then yang penting kita proceed dengan labor cost, pekerja yang akan excavate the work, excavate the soil. Okay, so sama juga dia punya apa, calculation tadi dah apa given in the question about the general worker punya apa dah, dia punya rate, maksudnya dia punya upah bayaran per day. Yang kat sini adalah multiplier and also the value yang kita kena refer dekat dalam table. Okay, kita tengok ni table 1 and table 2. Okay, for table 1 kita kena refer sebabnya description of the activities. Untuk case example kita ni kita perlukan trench excavation not exceeding 2 meter deep. So that's why kita pilih 4 kat sini, dia punya output per hour. And then macam soalan dah mention, soalan kita berkenaan dengan sand for the type of soil, that's why the multiplier will be 0.75. Okay, so that's why kat sini saya dah masukkan. And then kita dapatlah dia punya amount. Lepas tu untuk support and strutting, macam yang dah diberi dalam soalan tadi, dia cakap 50% out of the labor cost. So that's why kita dapat sini RM3 and then total up. Simple je kita kira. And then sama juga masukkan at the end sebelum kita dapat dia punya cost per meter cube, total cost tu, kita kena include the profit and overhead. So ni adalah jumlah untuk excavation by hand. Saya rasa ni je kot calculation untuk by hand. Alright. Okay. So basically selalunya kita akan ada break time lah. Yang ni kira tak apalah, saya proceed je lah kan. Okay, the next one will be masih lagi under the second stage of excavation works. But the sub-activities adalah sub-activities ketiga dah lah yang ni. Adalah ketiga, which is excavation by machinery. Sama juga kita kena tahu dia punya important information ataupun table yang berkaitan ataupun maklumat yang diperlukan untuk pengiraan excavation by machinery. So untuk table 3 we have the excavator output and the other one, table 4, we have sama juga dengan sebelum ni, we have the multiplier based on type of soil. Okay, so both table akan digunakan later on in our calculation. Okay, this also another table because once the excavation will be done using the machinery, so the calculation is quite long or complicated as we compare with the excavation by hand. But however, as long as we understand the steps and we understand the requirements of the calculation, then it's okay for us to do the calculation for the build-up rates. So kita kena betul-betul faham lah apa dia punya beza for each activities, for each method lah, tadi by hand and this one by machinery. So basically untuk table 5 ni dia present the running cost for the machinery. So kat sini first column dia tunjuk dia punya apa dah, size, ni size ataupun capacity of the excavator, and then yang lagi dua ni adalah maklumat regarding the diesel and required lubricator to run the excavator lah. So that's why the name is running cost. Okay, so we will proceed with the calculation. Okay, sebelum tu saya juga nak remind excavation by machinery ni sebenarnya dia terbahagi kepada dua. So sebab tu awal-awal tadi saya dah mention excavation works for stage 2 ni dia panjang sikit dia punya calculation sebab dia ada pecahan dia sendiri. Okay, untuk excavation by machinery ni dia terbahagi kepada own machinery, first one, and later on we have another one which is rental. So nanti saya akan explain satu-satu, tapi saya start dengan own machinery dulu, yang kedua. Untuk rental nanti saya akan tunjuk juga. Okay, untuk example 4 ni kita akan tengok on excavation by machinery which is own machinery, meaning that owned by the contractor lah. Contractor tu ada excavator sendiri. Okay, maklumat dia pun lebih kurang je, simple je, cuma kita kena faham dan differentiate lah. Alright, kat sini dia dah cakap nak buat excavation dan dia punya jenis tanah adalah clay. Lepas tu dia maklumat lain sama juga, cuma yang penting kat sini dia cakap using own excavator, dan yang penting kat sini size excavator ni berapa. Okay. Kalau tengok kat sini dia punya ayat untuk soalan simple je, tapi dia it have a detail ataupun lebih lah sikit assumption sebab dia dah melibatkan machinery. So for own machinery dia ada quite several items including the life cycle. Sebenarnya kalau kita tengok balik, kalau awak semua perasan, nanti cuba tengok balik juga dengan nota yang previous one, last week punya, which is on concrete works. Kalau kita guna machinery memang lebih kurang je dia punya ni. Dia punya assumption ni, maksudnya given information akan lebih kurang kalau dia melibatkan machinery. Dia akan bagi all this information lah regarding the machinery itself and also the maklumat berkenaan the operator and include also the profit and overhead. Okay. So tu je dia punya information rasanya. We proceed with the calculation. Okay. Sama juga dengan previous calculation on machineries under concrete works. Untuk calculation machinery cost ni adalah cost. Machinery cost dia terbahagi kepada dua. Satu capital cost. Later on we will cover on running cost. Okay. Untuk capital cost ni for the machine itself kita kena kira lah purchase value straightforward from the question. And then kita kena include dia punya interest rate ataupun interest rate for the loan. Kita include juga kat sini calculation dia. Sebab 10% dah diberi dalam soalan. 5 ni represent 5 years. And then kita kena kira juga dia punya maintenance cost. Maintenance cost dia dah bagi juga dia punya percentage. Tapi tak perlu darab dengan 5 tahun. Kita just darab dengan dia punya purchase value. Memang dia punya formula macam tu. And then for the mobilization ataupun transportation lah yang ni, kita kena ambil dia punya percentage, give percentage, sama juga darab dengan dia punya purchase value. So at the end, untuk capital cost ni untuk first awal-awal punya calculation kita dapat nilai dulu. And then once we obtain this amount, kita kena deduct with the scrap value. Scrap value pun kalau kita refer balik memang adalah. Sebab any machinery dia memang ada dia punya own scrap value. Okay. So for the scrap value we need to do some deduction. Okay. Once kita deduct kita dapat new amount. Here we got the new amount. Tapi kita kena ingat new amount ni adalah untuk 5 or 4 years. Sorry, okay. New amount ni sebenarnya untuk 5 tahun. So actually 5 years. Okay. So that's why kita kena bahagi dengan 5 tahun. Kita nak dapatkan dia punya cost per year dulu. Dan kita dapat cost per year or 1 year. And at the end we need to come out with the cost per hour. So that's why dia dah bagi dia punya average working days. We need to times with the daily working hours which is 8 hours usually. And then kita dapat berapa dia punya total hours dan kita bahagilah kat sini. So kita akan dapat capital cost per hour. Ni baru capital cost. Then kita akan proceed dengan running cost. Okay, untuk running cost ni for the excavator type 1/2 or half lah kot yang sini. Okay, kita kena refer few tables which is table 3, 4 and 5. Okay, untuk running cost, first thing first kita kena kira dia punya operator. Yang ni sebenarnya tak kira pun, kita straightforward dapat daripada soalan lah. So dia dah cakap RM50. And then this one also per day. Lepas tu untuk running cost, macam dalam table tadi, kita kena tahu dia punya cost untuk diesel, untuk lubricator. So that's why sini kita ada calculation. Okay, kita tengok balik table ni, tak silap table 3. Okay, ni size kita punya excavator. 1/2 or 1/2. Dieselnya 6 hour. Okay. Dia dalam liter juga sebenarnya. Diesel per hour dia 6 liter. And then lubricator per week pun dalam liter. So that's why kat sini kita akan masukkan lah. But, so dah masukkan, kita akan straightforward je dapat dia punya amount. Cuma untuk lubricator ni dia dah cakap tadi per week. So kita kena bahagi dengan hari dulu. And then baru times with the dia punya cost ni pun dah bagi. Okay. Tu kita dah dapat. So far total up running cost per day. Okay. Lepas tu per day kita kena convert to hour, jam. And that's why kita kena bahagi 8. Dapat the new running cost per hour. Then running cost per hour kita kena total up with the tadilah previous capital cost and then we will obtain the total cost per hour. Okay, total cost per hour dia dekat sini. Sama juga, kita kena dapatkan cost per meter cube. That's why kita kena kira lagi. So, ni dah dapat cost per hour. Untuk per meter cube, kita kena tahulah output of the excavator. So, that's why kita ambil 12 ni. Refer balik table 5. Okay, sekejap ya. Okay. Continue back here. Untuk apa excavator output, if we refer back to table 5. Okay. Is it 12 or okay. Table 3. Sorry, table 3 kat sini. Kita kena tahu output meter cube per hour. So, size excavator kita yang ni, and then the output will be 12. So, that's why kita masukkan kat sini. Then, kita dapatlah berapa meter cube per hour. So, tadi kita dah dapat cost per hour. Sekarang kita nak convert kan dalam bentuk cost per meter cube. So, kita kena bahagikan, dah dapat kat sini. Include the profit and overhead. And at the end, we will obtain this total cost per meter cube. For this, untuk running cost ni lah. Jadi dah dapat capital cost kan. Okay. Itulah. Tu je dia punya calculation. Maksudnya total cost ni dah include both capital and also running cost. So tu je calculation untuk excavation by machinery, and it is own machinery. Maksudnya memang mesin maksudnya memang excavator yang owned by the contractor themselves. Okay. Okay, ni yang saya cakap yang lagi satu. Nombor 2 adalah rental. Sama juga excavation by machinery, tapi this machinery is being rented. Maksudnya bukan owned by the contractor. Okay, for this example 5 kita tengok dia punya soalan pun quite similar, cuma kita kena betul-betul fokus on each of the given information. Okay, ni pun trench excavation, jenis tanah dia adalah sand, starting from reduced level maximum depth. Ni pun lebih kurang, cuma dia dah mention kat sini rental excavator dengan dia punya size. Okay, assumption untuk rental dia kurang information sikit kalau kita compare balik dengan yang machine owned by the contractor. Sebab bila kita own, kita beli sendiri, banyaklah dia punya banyak dia punya item-item yang kita kena consider. Tapi kalau kita rental, dia dah kurang lah, sebab all those extra item will be covered by the owner lah kan. Kita just pinjam. Bukan pinjam, kita just sewa. Okay. So, biasanya maklumat dia akan beri berkenaan rental, lepas tu diesel and lubricator, berapa dia punya requirement. And for sure, we need to have the information regarding the operator. And we include the profit and overhead. For the calculation, untuk machinery cost, which is rented excavator, kita kena first kita kena kira dia punya rental cost. Rental cost per day memang dah bagi dalam soalan. Then kita kena convert to rental cost per hour. So that's why sini kita dah bagi 8 lah. Macam sebelum-sebelum ni pun, sebab kebiasaannya 8 jam je waktu bekerja. So dapat kat sini kan. And then kita proceed dengan running cost. Okay, kalau kita perasan kat sini, tadi untuk excavation by machinery using own machine, kita include capital cost and also running cost. Tapi untuk rental for sure lah tak ada capital cost. Kita just straightforward to rental cost and then proceed with the running cost. Sama juga running cost, kita kena refer few tables. Kadang-kadang dalam soalan dia tak adalah bagi whole table, dia just bagi straight, dia dah bagi direct. Macam nilai ataupun constant ataupun multiplier yang kita akan gunakan. So kalau untuk purpose example ni saya dah bagi full table lah. So kita akan refer balik full table. Table 3, 4 and 5. So basically untuk step running cost dia lebih kurang sama je dengan yang tadi. Kita kena include the operator, diesel macam yang ni memang refer table. Sama juga yang ni. And then for sure we will obtain the amount in cost per day, then convert to cost per hour. And then dah dapat cost per hour for the running cost. So kita kena total up lah with the rental. Yang ni tadi. Bawa ke bawah ni. Tambahkan sekali. And then kita dapatlah dia punya total cost per hour for machinery cost kalau kita rent the equipment. Okay, lepas tu tu baru dia punya total cost lah. Kita kena tahu dia punya tadi sekejap, total cost per hour. Kita kena tahu total cost per meter cube. Macam yang sekejap sama juga macam yang ni kan. Kita dapat dulu total cost per hour. And then kita kena kira dia punya total cost per meter cube. Sebabnya dalam soalan kalau kita refer balik, build up rates for 1 meter cube. So at the end kita punya soalan kena based on the required unit by the question lah. Kalau dia dah cakap meter cube, memang selalunya meter cube lah untuk excavation work kan. So dah dapat cost per hour, convert to the cost per meter cube. So kat sini, so that's why kita kena refer table juga. Kita ambil dia punya constant or the multiplier. And then sama juga step, kita akan dapat cost per meter cube, include the profit, and at the end kita dapatlah total cost per meter cube. For excavation by machinery, which is rental. The contractor rent the equipment or rent the excavator to carry out the works. Alright, so saya rasa tu je calculation untuk excavation works. Okay. So far we have covered on stage 1 and stage 2. And the next one will be stage 3 for bulking or disposal. For bulking or disposal, as I previously mentioned, we also have two types, which is disposal by hand and also by lorry. Okay, so saya akan proceed dulu dengan disposal by hand. Okay, sama juga dengan previous calculation, apa-apa calculation kebiasaannya dia akan relate dengan dia punya own table ataupun own constant lah. So for disposal by hand, kita ada bulking factor or bulking percentage. So basically presented under this table 6. Okay, bulking percentage ni sebenarnya dia adalah satu increment from the original volume. Sebabnya selalu excavated material dia tak akan sama dengan material yang kita dispose. So that's why we need the bulking percentage to mark up or for the increment from the original volume. So basically dia akan different according to, dia akan varies according to type of soil. Okay, itu adalah maklumat berkenaan bulking percentage. And then dia ada juga mention kat sini for the level output ni, dia consist of 3 sub-activities which are loading, hoisting and storing. So the output will be here 1.5 hour per meter cube. Okay. Ni adalah yang kat bawah ni pula adalah example je lah, macam kalau kita tengok balik kat sini common soil, ni relate balik dengan bulking percentage tadi. Okay, kalau common soil maksudnya maksud 25% ni, so 1 meter cube of excavated material will be equal to 1.25 meter cube of disposed material. So basically dia kena mark up lah kat sini. So that's why 25. So kalau 20, sini akan jadi 1.20 lah. Sebab kita nak multiply later on. Okay. The next one regarding the calculation. Okay, the calculation for disposal by hand, which is under stage 3 bulking or disposal. Pun untuk soalan ni dia simple juga. Dia cakap build up rate for removing 1 meter cube excavated material at 50 meter distance. Okay, assumption dia sikit je juga, simple. Excavated material dia adalah common soil. Disposal activity pun ada 3 sub activities. Macam yang tadi saya dah mention, loading, hoisting and storing only. And then kita as usual we need to include the profit and overhead. Alright. For the calculation, untuk disposal by hand ni dia quite straightforward and simple je lah. Sebab kita just kena kira dia punya labor cost. Sebab we don't need to calculate the machinery or plant cost because it is manually disposed by hand. Okay, so kita macam selalu kita akan kira general worker punya rate ataupun general worker punya cost. Ni adalah dia punya output rate macam yang dalam soalan tadi kan dah bagi. Bukan, kita kena refer kat sini. Okay. Dah cakap sebab soalan dah bagi dia punya ni activity kan. Okay, so 1.5 hour per meter cube adalah dia punya output rate darab dengan dia punya wages. And ni kita dapat dia punya nilai. Sama juga, and then this one ni adalah yang saya cakap tadi, refer kepada bulking percentage. Bulking percentage kita kena refer balik soalan. Dia adalah common soil. So the bulking percentage will be 1.25. So that's why kita darab kat sini. So dia punya amount for sure akan naik lah sikit. And then include the percentage, we will come out with the labor cost per meter cube for disposal by hand. Okay, saya rasa tu je disposal by hand punya calculation. So far saya harap semua dapat differentiate the calculation for each activities and akan lagi familiar lah. Alright. The next one is disposal by lorry, which is the second sub-activities under stage 3. Okay. Untuk disposal by lorry, kita ada table 7 which represent the output and running cost for this type of sub-activities. Dia ada base, kalau ikut sini dia ikut capacity lorry ataupun size lorry tu sendirilah. Dan dia ada dia punya output, dia punya ni juga keperluan diesel dan juga lubricator in unit of liter. Okay, so saya akan proceed dengan example 7 to represent the disposal by lorry. So kat sini sama juga dia tulis build up rate for removing 1 meter cube excavated material and deposit in heap. Maksudnya dia dah excavate then dia nak deposit. Maksudnya dia nak pergi letak kat satu tempat in 5 km distance. Okay. Untuk selalunya kan macam sebelum ni pun kalau dah melibatkan mesin ataupun melibatkan plant, so dia punya calculation will be more details. Sama juga sebab tu dia bagi details of the assumptions. Sebab dia ada maklumat regarding the lorry itself. And then ni speed pun berkenaan lori tersebut dan berapa masa untuk sub activities loading unloading, and this one type of soil diesel required, and then also for the profit and overhead. Okay, sorry. I think here we don't have information. Let me check again. For the diesel, okay, we don't have the, supposedly later on saya akan tambah lah maklumat berkenaan lubricator punya harga per liter. Nanti saya tambah ini missing kat sini. Okay, so untuk calculation disposal by lorry kita ada first kita ada dia punya ni lah, rental cost. Sebab soalan pun memang dah cakap ni rental. and rental dia inclusive the driver. So dia punya rental rate 250 per day. So calculation rental cost ni dia sebenarnya sama je dengan previous one tadi yang rental excavator. So yang given dalam soalan adalah rental per day and then we need to convert to rental per hour. So kita dah dapat kat sini kan rental per hour. Because it is also regarding the rental, so we don't need to calculate the previous capital cost because that one only for machinery that owned by the contractor. So yang ni just focus on rental lah. And then when we have the rental cost, we proceed with the running cost. Running cost ni kita kena refer table 7. Okay, kita tengok balik table 7 sebabnya kita kena tengok dia punya size of lorry and then the rest of information will be used for our calculation. Okay, cakap sini untuk diesel lubricator sama juga dengan previous calculation. Kita kena tahu dia punya constant and then darab dengan dia punya cost given rate lah, given price tu. And then kita kena dapatlah kat sini diesel lubricator. And bila kita total up, kita just dapat dia punya running cost per day. Then daripada cost per day convert to cost per hour. And then we will have the total cost of rental plus the running cost. Okay. So once we have the total cost per hour, we need to kira juga dia punya sebelum kita convert semua, sebab kita ada lagi satu sebenarnya travel cost. Yang tadi sebab kalau kita tengok soalan, dia dah cakap deposit in heaps 5 km distance. So that's why kita ada additional item to be calculated, which is travel cost. Okay, travel cost for 5 km distance. Kita kena include ni lah all this information. Ni semua dah bagi dalam soalan. Distance dia dah bagi 5 km. Sebab two ways punya perjalanan, so that's why kita darab dengan 2. Kita dapat dia punya 10 km total distance. And dari segi masa, sebab dia dalam soalan dia dah given dia punya speed of the lorry, which is 30 km per hour. And then daripada tu kita akan dapat dia punya time. Time dia adalah maksudnya travel time lah yang kat sini. Travel time will be 20 minutes and then this time will be total up with the loading and unloading. Loading and unloading ni kan dah diberi dalam soalan. So at the end kita dapatlah dia punya total time for the travel. Betul lah, travel time lah based on the given distance. And then untuk kita come up with the travel cost, kita kena tahu juga dia punya original volume. Original volume ni kita kena refer table 6 and 7. Okay, kita tengok balik Yang ni adalah original volume. 3.25 for 5 ton lorry. And then kita kena darab dengan dia punya this one table 7 for bulking factor. Okay, sama juga sebab soalan ni kalau tak silap tadi common soil kan. This one common soil pun sama. Dia punya bulking factor is 0.25. So kita dapat dia punya new calculator volume. And then kita kena kira dia punya time per meter cube. Time kita dah ada, bahagi je dengan dia punya volume. Dan kita dapat dia punya berapa dia punya masa. Dan daripada situ untuk dapatkan cost per meter cube, kita pun kena do the dia punya kat sini kena multiplication kat sini. Kita dah ada nak dapatkan cost per meter cube and then darab dengan masa yang kita dah kira per 60 minutes ni sebab 1 hour. And then kita come up with this amount. Sama juga kena include the profit and overhead. At the end kita akan dapat cost per meter cube. Okay. je rasanya calculation untuk disposal by lorry, which is under stage 3. Okay. So hopefully you all, awak semua boleh faham lah so far daripada stage 1 sampai stage 3 for the excavation works calculation. And then we proceed with the stage 4, which is the final stage of excavation works. Stage 4 will cover on backfilling or filling of the excavation activities. Alright. Sama juga backfilling or filling ni dia ada two types of sub-activities such as filling with excavated materials and also filling with imported material. So this will be the first one. So saya akan explain yang ni dulu. So untuk example number 8 which represent these activities, we need to build up rate for 1 meter cube filling to excavation with material arising from excavation. So maksudnya kat sini dia guna excavated material lah, dia dah correct dan dia fill up balik the excavated area using the using the same soil lah. So assumption dia sikit je berkenaan dengan labor constant, compaction and wastage. Sebab untuk kita fill back or backfilling ni, we need to consider the compaction and wastage punya rate ataupun percentage, and also the profit and overhead as usual. Okay, for the labor cost for these sub activities, kita kena kira dia punya general workers rate dia. Once kita dah ada output, kita pun ada dia punya daily punya rate. Labor cost 40 juga, nanti saya masukkan juga labor rate. Selalunya 40. So soalan ni refer kepada rate yang sama lah per 8 hour. So basically kita dah masukkan kat sini, kita dapat. And then daripada nilai ni kita kena kira dia punya percentage for the compaction and wastage. And then kita dapat lepas tu sebelum total up kena kira juga include the profit and overhead. So at the end kita dapatlah cost per meter cube. So basically filling with excavated material ni simple je lah dia punya calculation. Okay, the next one will be filling with imported material, which will be our example number 9. Sama juga dia punya statement kat sini, build up rate for 1 meter cube filling to excavation with ordinary earth obtained offsite. So bila dah obtain offsite maksudnya dia import lah, bukan daripada tanah yang asal tu. So sama juga dia punya information lebih kurang je, cuma dia ada information on imported earth. Dah cakap kat sini harga dia adalah RM15 per meter cube, which include the delivery to site. Okay. So sama juga kat sini, nanti tambah dengan ni lah general worker punya rate. So selalunya RM40 untuk purpose example dan calculation kita punya lecture ni lah. Okay. Untuk filling with imported materials, there are several calculation lah. Satu, kita kena kira material cost and also labor cost. Macam yang tadi, kita just kira labor cost je sebab material itself dah memang based on the excavated material. So, tak perlu dia punya additional calculation kat sini. So, untuk filling with imported material, kita kena kira dia punya material cost. Ni dah dapat straightforward from the question. And then kita kena include dia punya dia calculate dia punya ni lah compaction and wastage percentage or allowable ni percentage. So dapat balik dia punya new material cost including the required percentage, and then proceed with the labor cost. Ni pun quite straightforward kita sebab dia dah given dia punya output hour per meter cube and then darab dengan dia punya daily rate wages per day, and then dapat berapa. Untuk next step, kita proceed with the total cost, which consider both lah, kita kena ambil dua-dua cost, material tambah dengan labor. So kita come out with this amount, and then we need to consider as usual, we need to consider the profit. So at the end, we will come out with the cost per meter cube for filling with imported material. Okay, saya rasa tu je kot calculation untuk filling with imported materials. Okay, so far tu je kita punya the sub activities ataupun stages under excavation works. So basically kat sini kita dapat lihat lah, kita just ada 4 stages. Stage 1 until stage 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 untuk excavation works, starting from site clearance until the backfilling or filling. So just now saya dah explain satu-satu apa dia punya setiap stage dan dia punya own calculation. So hopefully semua boleh faham, dan nanti cuba tengok balik satu-satu untuk lagi faham. And now I will proceed with the summary of estimating, meaning that summary for the whole estimating topic which is covered by me, starting from last 4 weeks last month. Okay, sebab sekarang kita dah minggu ke-5 untuk estimating. So daripada minggu ke-11, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, betul. 5 minggu untuk estimating. Okay. So for the summary of estimating, saya akan fokus dekat mostly on calculation lah kan. Okay. So basically estimating here, for the calculation punya part, we have 2 main calculation. The first one we have taking off, which is focusing on the standard method of measurement 2, version 2. And then the second part we have the build-up rates calculation. Okay. So far untuk taking off, kita dah cover on 3 main elements. Pad footing or foundation, then column stump, and the last one or the third one is ground beam. Okay, so far saya harap semua dapat fahamlah dia punya beza antara taking off dan build up rates, dan dia punya types of each calculation. Macam taking off, apa dia punya elemen yang diperlukan, sama juga dengan build up rates. Okay, so saya proceed dulu dengan taking off punya part. Tadi saya dah mention ada 3 jenis ni kan. So 3 jenis ni dia punya own sub calculation. For example, pad footing and ground beam, dia ada 5 same sub activities, starting from excavation, lean concrete, formwork and also reinforcement. Okay, so basically untuk both foundation and ground beam, dia ada 5 sub activities ataupun sub calculation 5. Okay, so yang penting yang kat sini, for each calculation, you need to remember or differentiate dia punya unit. Yang ni kena betul-betul ingat lah. For example, excavation for sure in meter cube. Lean concrete ni memang kena betul-betul ingat, sebab even kita nampak dia macam dalam volume, sebenarnya based on SMM2, lean concrete is considered in meter square. So kena ingat yang ni. So the rest ni kira quite senang je lah, sebab kalau formwork, for sure dia punya surface area, reinforcement meter, in meter pun dia punya panjang. So basically footing ataupun foundation dengan ground beam both ada sub activities yang sama, unit yang sama, dan juga bilangan activities yang sama lah. Yang beza kat sini adalah untuk column stump, sebab column stump ada 3 je activity, 3 sub activities, starting from the concrete, formwork and reinforcement. Dia tak ada yang 2 kat atas, dia just ada 3 yang kat bawah je. But in terms of its unit, just the same lah, meter cube, meter square and also meter. So So in overall ni lah dia punya summary untuk taking off. Dan kita kena ingat kita refer on SMM2. Okay, for the second part of the calculation, which is build-up rate, just now, first part. For build-up rates, we have two main activities. Macam yang previous ataupun previous lecture, saya dah cover on concrete works. And today's lecture, I have covered on this excavation works. So basically untuk concrete works, dia terbahagi kepada several ni juga, several sub calculation. Sini ada tiga sub calculation. Kalau ikutkan dia lebih kurang items under the column sum, tapi ada beza sikit lah. Dia memang ada beza banyak in terms of calculation tu semua. Cuma maksud saya in terms of dia punya component tu. So kat sini untuk concrete works, kita just ada concrete in meter cube, reinforcement in kg and formwork in meter square. So yang paling penting untuk reinforcement under build up rates, dia consider unit of kg. Macam yang tadi kat sini, taking off dia in meter. Okay, ini kena betul-betul differentiate And then for the excavation work, macam yang saya dah cover untuk kita punya today's class, dia ada 4 lah. Ni stage 1, S1, S2, S3, and then S4. Okay. So for each stage ada dia punya own calculation. So hopefully later on semua boleh tengok balik based on this recorded. Sebab hari ni recorded version je kita punya lecture. So cuba tengok balik satu-satu for each stages of excavation works. Alright, saya rasa tu je summary for our topic on estimating, which is for the subject of construction technology, contract and estimating. So basically estimating is the final part of this subject, SKAB 3123. Okay, the next one sebelum habis kita punya kelas hari ni, saya akan cover on this final assessment tips. Okay. So final assessment will be on 31st of January. So hopefully everyone will ready for this final assessment. Okay. Untuk final assessment tips ni, saya dah categorize into two category lah. Sebab based on kita punya subtopics. The first one will be on taking off and the second one will be build up rates. So untuk final exam ataupun final assessment nanti, taking off will contribute for 20% and also the same for build up rate. So maksudnya total mark for estimating is 40. Sorry estimating topic, dia contribute for 40% of the total assessment marks. So the rest 60 dia bahagi kepada lagi 2 item lah ataupun 2 topik on construction technology and also contract. Tapi estimating ni paling besar lah sebab maybe construct tu 30, contract 30 rasanya. So 40% dibahagikan kepada 2, taking off 20% and also build up rate 20%. Okay. Yang paling penting untuk taking off kat sini, so far saya pun dah bagi individual assignment berkenaan pad footing and also individual assignment and also group project. Both you need to calculate on the pad footing. Tapi kat sini untuk for the purpose final assessment, saya harap semua dapat study juga the other type of footing sheet. Later on saya akan tunjuk sebab so far yang kita ada adalah sekarang square footing, or the name itself is pad footing. So nanti untuk purpose final assessment kena tengok juga untuk other types of footing sheet. And then kena fokus juga on column stump. Okay. So try to revise, try to do the revision, try to do the calculation, cuba buat balik semua, dan once kita dah cuba practice, dan kita akan dapat tengoklah dia punya difference between calculation and dia punya flow macam mana. So it will be easier lah for us to answer the questions. So hopefully semua so far dapat prepare a good taking off for each element lah, tak kisah either puting ataupun stump, column stump. So apa yang penting lagi kat sini adalah untuk purpose final assessment, please use simple table for taking off calculation. Nanti saya tunjuk simple table ni. Sebab sebelum ni yang saya dah tunjuknya adalah direct billing method tu ataupun billing form. Dia kan ada quite several items. So for the purpose final assessment, kita just focus on the important items only lah. Sebab tu saya suruh guna simple table. And then make sure all of you use the correct unit for each sub element. For example lah, kalau kena kira concrete ataupun concreting, so make sure the unit in meter cube. Kalau kena kira lean concrete, especially lean concrete lah, sebabnya lean concrete in SMM2 will be in meter square. So make sure the unit is correct. So kena ni lah, masing-masing kena ingat unit tu, penggunaan unit yang betul. And then jangan lupa juga untuk cuba bila dah dapat soalan tu, cuba tengok balik, fahamkan betul-betul. Sebab nanti untuk purpose final assessment, you will be given the detailed drawing and also the ni lah required information. So cuba fahamkan betul-betul apa question tu nak nak minta kita jawab lah. Apa elemen yang diperlukan, yang maksudnya yang kita perlu prepare the taking off. Okay, lepas tu kena tengok juga soalan tu require kita adakah perlu multiply dengan quantity tu. Kalau dia perlukan satu-satu je lah, kalau lebih pada tu kena kira lah yang ni, multiple the dimension with the required quantity. So ni kena take note lah. So basically this one for take off part, and then for build up rates, another which contribute for another 20%. So for the purpose final assessment, try to focus more on concrete works, and the unit also will be in meter cube. And sebab yang kalau ikut apa yang kita dah belajar concrete works ni kan ada banyak dia punya method. First by hand, second combination, and third one is by plant. So for the purpose untuk revision ni, cuba fokus on concrete works, cuba fokus on this method, and then once you dah buat revision tu, sambil tu kena ni lah betul-betul tengok balik, maksudnya apa calculation diperlukan. Selalunya flow dia kan, first kita kena kira dia punya material cost, and then kita kena kira plant cost, labor cost, and at the end yang penting kita baru dapat dia punya total cost. So kalau macam concrete works ni, for sure total cost will be cost per meter cube. So yang ni kena take note lah. Okay, so that's the some tips for both taking off and build up rates. And next one, I want to show you the other types of footing shape. Okay, ni yang saya cakap tadi. Sebelum ni kita dah banyak buat yang berkenaan ni kan, pad footing. So kena cuba faham juga, sebab basically dia punya fundamental ataupun dia punya basic sama je, cuma yang sekarang ni dari segi bentuk tu je berbeza. So cuba tengok juga yang ni slope footing. So slope footing basically kalau kita tengok kat sini dia ada beza lah dari segi bentuk dia kan. Kalau yang kita boleh simplify kat sini, dia ada dua shape lah. Bawah ni sama je dengan yang ni kan, pad footing macam biasa. Ini kan bentuk apa rectangular macam tu je, cuma atas ni. So yang ni kena take note lah. Okay, sekejap saya tunjuk lagi detail macam ni. So bila dapat macam ni, kena tahulah untuk kira area and volume for this specific shape, which is kalau yang kat sini, kat bawah okey lah, tak ada masalah. Yang kat atas ni trapezium, kena tahulah macam mana nak kira dia punya area dan dia punya volume. So cuba recall balik, cuba do the revision, cuba study balik. Tapi yang penting dia punya basic calculation is just the same, cuma awal-awal tu je nak dapatkan dia punya betul-betul dia punya area dan dia punya volume. The rest of the flow calculation details tu sama je yang lain. Okay, saya rasa tu je kot untuk kita punya ni to this lecture. Okay, sebelum tu ni yang maksud saya yang tadi saya nak tunjuk simple table, simple form untuk calculation. Kan sebelum ni saya dah tunjuk this direct billing method kan ada semua item ni kan, project, heading ni semua, bill number and the rest and so on. Tapi untuk for the purpose final exam, I would like to suggest all of you to answer the question still in table form. However, it's quite in simple form lah. Macam yang ni kan, just masukkan satu description and then ada dia punya based on calculation and also based on the question, masukkan dia punya time sync, dimension, extension and also calculation here. Lepas tu yang penting dekat calculation ni kena include lah dia punya correct unit and also quantity. So basically dah buat table yang area yang saya dah highlight ni pun dah okey lah. So yang lain-lain tu tak perlu sangat pun, yang ni dia penting ni. So basically cuba double check balik main item ni. So nanti for the purpose final assessment, cuba buat macam ni lah. As long as ada description yang betul dan the rest of calculation kena betul lah based on the setiap elements. And then yang penting juga unit tu kena betul. Kalau meter cube, kena meter cube lah. Kalau meter square macam tu. So saya rasa so far semua okay kot, insyaAllah. Hopefully everyone dah familiar dengan both taking off and also bill up rates. Okay, saya rasa tu je kot untuk final assessment tips. So hopefully all of you can try do the calculation, do the sufficient revision for the purpose final assessment. So that's all from me. I wish all of you all the best and good luck for your final examination or final assessment. Apa-apa kalau lepas ni nak tanya ke apa, boleh je tanya saya lagi. InsyaAllah hopefully saya akan bantu mana yang boleh. So that's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.